Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Real Life on the Homestead in Ontario. And I need to get my delayed start, but I'm getting it done, fire cider vinegar. Now, I was waiting to get some horseradish root, and I have planted some, but I don't want to dig it up yet. So I got it from one of our local farms, which is amazing. And look at this beauty that we got from them. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to show you how simple it is to make fire cider. There are tons of recipes out there because really you can wing it with whatever you like, leave out what you don't like. I have a friend who's allergic to garlic, leave out the garlic. Very simple. Now what I'm going to do is tell you the recipe that I make and explain to you what things I throw in and why. And we're just going to go simply through it. Now, the first thing I'm going to use is ginger. When I grew my ginger, I grated it up and froze it. And this is how I keep my ginger. Already grated. And this is how I break it apart. So what I'm going to do is just use my already grated ginger, and then the pack goes back in the freezer. So that's our first thing. Ginger has so many great properties. If you're feeling sick, having the ginger in your fire cider will help things like settle your stomach. It has that nice heat. You want natural heat from your ginger and your horseradish, not necessarily just your peppers. So first thing we're going to do is, of course, get some ginger. If you don't have your own ginger, just pick up best quality you can. If you can get organic, please do. If you can't, then what I would suggest is, scrape off the skin with a spoon just to make sure that it's as clean as possible. The next thing, as we discussed, is horseradish. Now, horseradish, again, will clear out those sinuses. And you want to get rid of that gunk that you get when you're sick. So horseradish is great. Use as little or as much as you like. I will use a little bit more because this is where I want my heat to come from. Now, if you cannot get fresh horseradish, which does happen sometimes depending on the area you're in, what I suggest you do is find a bottled horseradish. Usually it's in the fresh section of your produce of your grocery store, but when you're getting it, make sure it's just horseradish, salt, vinegar, nothing else. If it has anything other than that, then don't use it. And no, you can't go home, rinse it out, and it works because the vinegar that's in it would have already extracted a lot of those properties. So if you can get fresh, that's the way to go. And usually you can get it in the fall. This is why I'm starting it late, because I didn't do this a little earlier. The next item you're going to need is some hot peppers. Now, hot peppers, if you consume too many of them, they do alter your stomach bacteria, but it does give you a bit of heat. Now, fire cider does not mean all the heat comes from the peppers. You're getting a lot of heat from the ginger and the horseradish, but use peppers as you see fit. Now, these are peppers that a friend brought over that she grew, so I know they're great. If you don't want a lot of heat, don't put in the seeds. If you're gonna use jalapenos, base it on how much heat you want. You can do 1, you can do 3, you can do 10 if you really like it hot, but you don't have to overpower your fire cider with heat. Remember, you wanna be able to consume this. And the next thing, of course, is garlic. And I'm going to be using my own garlic because you're not going to get any better than absolutely organic and fresh. And that has its own heat. When you're chopping garlic, you can actually smell the heat coming out of it. Our next item, again, from our garden, so you know it's fresh, is red onion. You can use regular onion like white onion, Vidalia onion, Spanish onion. You can use any type of onion. Remember, this is not meant to be complicated, but I like the red onion. I find it has a little bit of a nicer flavor. So this is what I use. And for those who are familiar with our channel, I keep my citrus in the freezer. So that's why it's white, because I just pulled it out. So I'm going to use an orange and a lemon. I do not use grapefruit as one of my citrus, and you don't have to use citrus at all. A lot of recipes don't call for citrus, but I want that vitamin C that you get from the citrus. I don't use grapefruit because grapefruit tends to interact with a lot of medications. And if I'm going to be sharing this with any, like my mom, who's on several medications, if I'm going to be giving her some, I don't want it to interact negatively with any of her medications. So no grapefruit for me. And then you can add herbs of choice. I personally love rosemary, and rosemary is always in a pot in our house. The smell is so nice. I like that fragrance that it gives my fire cider. Then you need apple cider vinegar. This is my own apple cider vinegar. I will link in the description box how to make it. But if you don't have your own, you can pick up a good quality with the mother, but you don't have to. You can use just apple cider vinegar from the grocery store. If you have the raw with the mother, you know you're going to get better properties, so grab that instead. I like to use my own. Look at my mother at the bottom. Do you see that? Yep, it's beautiful. And then, of course, raw honey. And this is our honey from our property, so I know the quality. So if you think about this, you got apple cider vinegar and you got honey. Yes, fire cider is actually an oxymel. And this is something that has a lot of properties to pull out from all these fruits and vegetables. Pull out all the great stuff into the liquid. You take a teaspoon when you're feeling sick, when you're already sick, when you're just congested where the snot's coming out of everywhere and you want to relieve that. This is a great natural way to do it. That's why that heat from these root vegetables will help dislodge all that mucus, especially chest coughs. Like this helps get it out of you. Yeah, you feel like you're coughing more, but you're coughing more because your body's kicking it out. And that's what you want to do. So I'm just going to prepare these, chop them up, and show you how I finish. This is super simple, super healthy, and you should have it in your cupboard all winter. I don't make a huge batch because I have other things that I use along the winter season, but this is when I'm congested and I need to get it out. This is what I use. So let me get this stuff chopped up and we'll finish up. Okay, so there we go. Everything is chopped up. Now what I'm going to do is just use this jar here. I don't even know what the measurement is on this. This is, it's a 1.7 liter. It's just a reusable jar. I don't know what came in it. But the reason I like to use it is, see that lid? It is rubberized on the entire inside. And with the vinegar, this way it won't corrode the, oh my gosh, my eyes are watering from the onion. Okay, so those are good onions. So anyway, the reason for using this lid is so that it doesn't corrode. And there's no reason to use a mason jar with a lid that I need to seal because we're not sealing this. So simply, I'm gonna start with, and I like to rotate just to get a nice mixture in there. I'm gonna put some ginger, some horseradish, some peppers, a few pieces of garlic, a little bit of onion, some lemon, some orange couple of sprigs of that rosemary. I love that scent. And at this point, I will add a bit of my apple cider vinegar. My hands are now wet, so I can't get this open. There we go. Like I said, this is my own apple cider vinegar. So I'm just gonna put literally a bit in the bottom. And I'm gonna get one of my honeys. This is this year's honey. It smells so beautiful. The bees did a good job. Now, our fire cider here, what'll happen is the vinegar will help dissolve the honey. Now, you can sweeten this as much as you want or as little as you want. The more honey, of course, the sweeter it will be. I like to do about 2/3 vinegar, 1/3 honey, but that is my preference. Now we got that going, just gonna finish up and top up the entire jar. And like I said, I like to rotate the ingredients, not for any reason except it just looks pretty, I guess. But here we go, another sprig of rosemary, and finish off. This is actually perfect quantity for this jar. You think I'd measured. I did not. But there we go, perfect. Rosemary to finish it off. And now, make sure I don't have any goodies that are laying around. Jersey, you can wait until we're done here. And some more honey. These are 500 ml jars of honey, so it actually is a great measuring tool because I could do one 500 ml and the rest can be my apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna actually close this up and do one of those good old grandma tricks. Clean your jar with your liquid. We don't want to waste any of this amazing honey. Now we're just gonna top this up. And I like to leave just a little bit of space at the top. I'm gonna just get the rest of that honey out of there. Honestly, I'm totally not wanting to waste any of it. There we go. Beautiful. And I will top that up with a little bit more vinegar because I do want to get as much of this as possible. And I'm gonna just poke in here, make sure that my honey is starting to mix in. And we're gonna extract all that goodness from these vegetables. Now in 4 weeks, this will be at perfection, 4 to 6 weeks. But if you needed it before then, you can absolutely start using it. It will get better with age. And I know some people strain their vegetables out of it. I don't strain for at least 2 months. After that, you can strain it, put it into a smaller jar. Go out, make some fire cider, have it in your pantry for over the winter months, and always, always live your best life. I hope you're enjoying our content. And the way you can help us is to subscribe to our channel, share with your friends, and like our videos. And by all means, comment below, give me your opinions on what you like in your fire cider, and have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.